Alright, I gotta make sure I have my hair to cover my nipples, because I was like, nipple covers are expensive, and I'm not using them to cover it up for one video. So, hair. Anyways, buona giornata and welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you're new here. So today we are going to talk about my 2019 favorites. So I already did a video on my base products, and this is going to be eyes and lips. So we're going to go ahead and get to this video. I'm going to chat enough, so please don't forget to subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. Hit the bell, all that good stuff, and let's be friends in 2020, guys. Let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, so general rule of thumb for me in these videos, I have a lot of things that I still love from 2018 that I'm going to try not to, like, I'm not going to really talk about in this video, but definitely if you check out my Sephora recommendations, stuff like that, those are favorites. I don't do monthly favorites specifically for the fact that I feel like that's just too much to say that you have a million favorites every month. Like, it's too overwhelming to me, so I try to really only give you guys, like, my, like, this is what I believe in recommendations. That's not just like, oh, it was new, popular, okay, bye. On to the next. So having said that, as well as anything that came out from November on, I am not going to put in this year's favorites. I just feel like, you know, I haven't used it long enough to know if I'm going to reach for it for a full year yet. So that is why you won't see a lot of the releases that came out in the last few months. They will probably make it into my favorites next year. Maybe. We'll see. So let's start out with eyes. I will say the Natasha Denona mini nude palette has been one of my favorites. Very tiny, like I always talk about this, like the shadows are the size of a fingernail, but I still really like this one. I did just do a review on the mini like cool tone palette, the glam one, but this one, I'm more of a warm tone girl in general. I feel like I reach for this as soon as I want like a really fast look. So I mostly use it for these two shades, just this one in the crease. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan. I know that these are itty bitty. And you're just like, what the hell for $25? But it's a very nice, everyday wearable palette that when I just need to do something in a hurry, I reach for this one. So that is my number one. I'm gonna quickly talk about this one because this one was in one of my Sephora VIBs. But I know it's limited edition. It's still available. I would get this, okay? Like, I love this palette. I love the formula. Everything blends so well. I love that I can do a fun look if I want to, but I mostly, you know, I live over here, and then, you know, once in a while I come over here. But I don't like the way that sounded. But anyways, I like even the brighter shades. The formula is so nice. The shimmers are gorgeous. Like, you can get so many good looks. Like that purple, this purple, just, whoo, it's gorgeous. But especially these shades. Like, just the mattes in this palette they work so well. Almost similar to the mini Natasha Denona one I just showed you, but I feel like I actually, like, my heart is in this one. Okay, so I would only get this if you're gonna wear, you know, try out the colorful shades, but beautiful formula. I really hope Artist Couture comes out with more because I was so impressed with this. Like, hands down, one of my most used palettes of the whole year was definitely that guy. And then I have to mention the ABH Norvina palettes. I know the ABH came out with an abundance of stuff. The Jackie Aina palette, I really like that one. And you guys, I actually use these quite a bit. I feel like my colorful collection is done. Like, I have not bought another colorful palette. Even the ones I look at, I'm like, you don't need it because you have these guys. The pigments in here are just beautiful. And especially the third one, I'm like, get it open. Okay, so this one, the only thing I reach for outside of this is a lot of the neutrals. Like, you get a good mix of neutrals and colors in this specific palette. I feel like neons were such a big hit this year, and those are actually very nice in here as well. I've done full reviews on every palette I've talked about in case you want to see more in depth, but my only thing is all the neutrals in here do lean a little bit more on the, like, orangier side. So sometimes I want just a neutral, but that's kind of the only other time I live outside of this. But even the metallics in here are so nice. Like, I feel like they are nicer in this one than any other ABH palette, to be completely honest. Like, look at those metallics. Like, those are gorgeous. So don't think that you can't get a good look out of this and make it into a more wearable look. I feel like that the palette is just, there's so much you can do it. Look at the turquoise color. It's gorgeous. So I recommend all three. I think it just depends on what you want. You know, the first one definitely more purple. The second one is blue-green, and then this one you get a good mix of everything. So that's why I specifically wanted to focus on this one. If you're going to spend your money, she's very pretty. And I love the packaging, the cute little butterflies. I don't even like butterflies. I went to the butterfly museum and then I started landing on me and I did what it said not to do, which was freaked out. And I was just like, there's still bugs on me. Like, no, never going back to that thing again. I'm going to quickly just mention this Pat McGrath. This is I believe it's the 5th one. I feel like I've already included it in last year, so we don't want to include it in this, but I am. It's just damn, okay? I'm breaking all the rules. But specifically just for those 4 special shades, I use these as toppers every time I want to amp up a look that I'm just like, oh, it's boring. I'm boring today, and I don't want to be. So I'll swatch those next, but gosh, nothing beats her shimmery formula. Like, I love it. I'm going to break my own rule, because this was I believe these were November releases, but especially the one in Ritualistic Rose from Pat McGrath. I love this. And I'm only including it because it is limited edition, so if it comes back in stock or if it is in stock, grab it. Like, I hope that she just continues with this format minus the golds, because they're stunning. They are so pretty, and yeah, they are expensive, but I feel like I reach for these, even if I don't reach for like this whole palette as a whole, because there's no mattes in here, but same kind of thing. If I just want to amp up something, I love the color story. Eyeshadow goodness, okay? Like, get that one. If you're not going to get anything else from Pat McGrath, this is the one. If you like pink. If you don't like pink, I don't know what to tell you, okay? We're not the best friends. Just like if you said you didn't like chocolate. Like, when people say that, like, I'm like, we're not okay. All right, so that's enough with the palettes. Now let's move on to other things. So if you're someone who, I feel like you either love glitter or you hate glitter, but I have to give a shout out to these ColourPop glitters. Just the singles. I don't get them in the palettes. You know, if they're in a palette, that's fine for me because I've noticed they haven't gone everywhere. Like, my biggest concern was just that they were gonna like explode and go everywhere. Like, if you drop this on the floor, the pan will empty. But especially these, they came out with like during the festival type season. This one is Boombaya. Just a really, really pretty orangey glitter, but any of the ones from this line, like I said, I've done reviews on these, but I really like it. You have to use the glitter glue though. I mean, that's the only thing. So I haven't had any problems, but I figured I'd mention those, especially if you're, you know, it's crazy because you can buy glitters that are super expensive and then those are just a few dollars. So if you don't reach for glitter often, I feel like they are definitely more worth it to pay $5 than it is to pay, you know, $18 for a single shade glitter. All right, I do have one product from Haus Labs. This is the shade Aphrodite. I can use this in the inner corner if I want to. If I'm just feeling lazy and I don't feel like doing my makeup, I feel like this is a good product to have when you don't feel like doing a full face of foundation, but you still want to look somewhat like you tried that day, you know? That's usually my goal. I just want to look like I care. Most days. Definitely not my hair. My hair would not say that to you. But this is the shade Aphrodite. And I will just put this all over the lid. So if you want a one and done shade, that is it. I definitely, you know, Haus Labs has been hit or miss for me, but this shade in particular, I love the little glitter flecks in it. I love the color. Like, it's a good one. All right, last little eye thing. I'm not going to spend a whole time on this because this one, it was a common mention as well. But this is Spotlight Glitz. from Artist Couture. I don't know if they are discontinuing these or what's going on, but they had a really big sale, and a lot of things are on sale even now from Sephora. But I like these to just tap in the center of an eye look to add a little bit of oomph. I've been finding that I like little tiny products, like pot products, like stuff that aren't giant palettes, where I can just pick an individual shade that's just going to amp up and accompany my very expensive palettes. So this just adds, like, you can't even see it well when I swatch it, but it just adds a little bit of lightness, a little bit of glitter. And the golden hour one is also gorgeous, but it's the one that was closest to me, okay? All right, let's talk about other eye products. The Milk Makeup Kush Lash Primer. I've already told you guys I'm not a fan of the mascara, but the Kush Base Primer, it's great. Like, it really does help amp up my lashes. I don't wear a lot of false lashes, so now this has become like a staple product if I want nicer lashes. It also helps it so that it really, and you gotta scrub it off, okay? You gotta scrub it off. But it's worth it for me to not have flaking mascara everywhere and to have a little bit more volume, because I don't want to do actual lashes. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for a lash primer. I have been enjoying this thoroughly, and it's lasted me a really good amount of time. Comes out white, and then you gotta wait a few minutes, and then you just put on your normal coat of mascara. The only mascaras I've used this year are, again, my Monsieur Bic and the Covergirl Exhibitionist have been my favorites. I keep that one in my car or in my purse. Not really in my car because everything melts in Arizona. So eyeliners, still in my Marc Jacobs kick. I also wanted to recommend the LA Girl, the Shockwave liners. If you're looking for colorful liners and maybe you don't reach for them often, or just in general if you're looking for these types of colors. The one in Fresh, it's a minty one. It's my favorite, but they are so nice and vibrant, and they're like $5. So if you're looking for colorful mascaras, I would definitely recommend LA Girl. And then I had to put this one in from Linda Hallberg, because finding a red is not easy in an eye pencil, but she did it. So this is in the shade Anger Mood. And you guys can see it's right there, but it is so nice and intense. I like think of a vampire whenever I use this, but you know, I like the way most vampires look, so I don't mind that. All right, moving on to lip products. So I have not quite a few. Like I said, my favorite gloss formulas are always going to be the Fenty ones, which I've mentioned time and time again. The Kylie high glosses, and then Dose of Colors this year, Honey, I'm Home, and then the Bareminerals YASS. I feel like you have to say it like that. You can want to smack me, that's fine. But if you're looking for like a milky, like nude, like let's just top this off. It's such a nice gloss. Definitely not for everyone. It almost is like that brighter, like concealery type lip, but I really, really like this, especially if I'm doing an intense eye look. Like, I feel like I could pair this with any nude or just put it in the center. And then the same kind of thing with this one, which is the Yas shade. Another beautiful, beautiful nude that I highly recommend. I really like the Bareminerals gloss formula. Why I swatched it there, I don't know. But you guys can just see it's just a really pretty nude. Gives that nice high shine without it being too thick of a gloss. And then lipstick-wise, I mean, the Becca lipstick formula is one of my favorites. So this is in the shade Bare. I bought this one this year. Tulip is another one of my spring-summer favorites, but I think I mentioned that last time. So this is in the shade Bare, but it's just a really, really pretty neutral. I know my Natasha Denona one has to be on here. Yeah! Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude. This is the shade Susanna. This is another one of my favorites. Again, most of mine are all nudes because that's just who I am, okay? But that one is Susanna. I feel like that one was my favorite out of the bunch. KKW in Nude 2 is what I actually have on my lips right now underneath the gloss. And then to line it, I have the Morphe Sweet Tea lip liners. These went up $1, okay? But they're still cheap. They're $4 and they get the job done. They're not the most long lasting, but other than like yes, I will spend money on lip liners, like my Pat McGrath ones I love, but I've mentioned those way too many times that I feel like I should give this a good mention because I use it almost like every other day at least. So the shade Sweet Tea is just, it's a good dupe for like MAC Cork if you're not wanting to spend that type of money. I really like those. The only thing is the lid. The lid slides off. So you gotta be careful as I throw it back into my bunch of stuff. And then last mention is these L'Oreal Riche. These are the Color Riche Plump and Shine. I really like these. Like, these are my go-tos in terms of like, maybe I don't have makeup on and I just want a little something that's moisturizing, especially here for the summer. But I like both of these shades, and I believe these are limited edition, so if you can grab these at the drugstore, I would highly recommend. But they're not like super opaque. They're just like a nice moisturizing gloss, like a tinted gloss. A tinted gloss, a tinted moisturizer, a tinted lip balm. You know what I'm saying. So this one is my absolute favorite, and it is in the shade Coconut Plump. And then the other one I have is in the shade Guava Plump. I'm like, plump. But those are the shades right there. So obviously not a lot of color, but perfect if you're just looking for a little something to make you feel alive. Okay? But yeah, guys, that is it for me. Obviously, like, my Sonia brushes are a favorite. I didn't do brushes in this video. If you want to see a brush favorite, definitely let me know. I would love to do it. I am loving my brushes lately. Well, some of them, obviously, if you've seen my reviews lately. But yeah, that is it for me. Let me know what palettes were your guys' favorite, which of the stuff you've tried, what you could recommend to me to try. And yeah, let's hang it down in the comments down below. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. All right, and then last mention...